Several Turkish sailing athletes have received a quota to attend the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics. Ecem Guzel is just one of them. She has been sailing since she was a little girl. It is now her dream to bring back a medal to honor her country. Turkish national sailor Ecem Guzel finished 10th in Laser Radial World Championship and achieved a historic success in sailing branch by qualifying for 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Ecem gained net 120 points and ranked 10th among 111 sailors from 49 countries. She's the first sailor to qualify for the Olympics and also the first woman athlete in Galatasaray's sailing branch's history who qualified for the Summer Olympics. Ecem, welcome to the show. Well, my first question will be, these qualifications are great, and you have gained all of this in such a young age. So I want to ask you, can you tell us about your journey and how did you first meet with sailing?
I started sailing when I was 10. We went a summer holiday to Bodrum and I started sailing there. But we were not living in Bodrum. We came back to Istanbul, and after 2 years we moved to Bodrum, and I start my sailing career in 2009 with the laser radial class. At the beginning I was really scared to be on the water because I don't know what is inside on the water. But later I start to enjoy to be on the boat, on the sea.
Well, you're working for very long hours, I'm guessing, and it's such a huge burden on the shoulder of one to represent a country in the Olympics. Tell us how your preparations are going.
In preparing season, we have a 6 days training, and each day 2 or 3 training we have. Mostly we try to sail every day. And we have a gym session, rowing session, like running session, and we have a quite full day every day. And we have a really important regattas like World Championship, European Championship, and some European regattas. And we are preparing with this regatta until the Olympics. And these are really high quality regattas, and I'm preparing with these regattas to the Olympic Games. Average 5 hours training every day. We try to stay on the water minimum 2 hours. It depends wind and wave. I mean, if we have too strong wind, we try to stay minimum 1 hour because we need strong wind also. But I mean, every day rowing, running, swimming, and gym season, it takes 4 or 5 hours average. I start the day very early, the breakfast to get ready training, and after training, I let's say, you can understand me, I feel tired and I want to go to rest because I have to be ready next days, so I don't have a social life, but I'm happy with this.
Well, attending an Olympic is the peak of a sportsman career. Tell us how this made you feel when you first heard of it, since you now have the opportunity to attend Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
To be Olympic, it's my childhood dream, let's say, because when I start sailing 2009, let's say I start racing 2009 in laser radial class, and to be Olympic Games, it was the motivation for me, one of the best motivation for me, and I did this goal. I'm really happy to be in the Olympic Games. Not only Turkish women, all Turkish people I'm representing in Olympic Games, I'm very proud of with this. In international, we have lots of good women sailor, but we can compete in Turkey. We don't have not so much woman sailor. So we are really less than men. So we have to work on this. We need the women in sailing also. We can do this together.
Well, Ecem, your field includes a lot of physical intensity. For a woman, how did you start this career? I mean, at first it should have been hard for you, both emotionally and physically. How did you manage to overcome this physical intensity that this sport requires?
When I start sailing, I was with my family, and let's say sailing gives me freedom. Now I moved to Istanbul. My family still lives in Bodrum. I'm in Istanbul, so I have to do all job myself.
Well, I want to ask you, what has sailing changed in your life? How was it before and how is it now?
Sure, I was weaker, and after all this year and all this competition, I feel more comfortable and more strong, of course, for mentally or for physical. It changed everything. The mentally is everything for me, because I need this strong mentality for everywhere in my sailing life, in my social life, everywhere I need this.
Well, Ecem, we have a global virus which is very deadly right now, and this can affect the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. How do you think the consequences will be if the Olympics is affected and cancelled because of the virus?
I don't think the games are cancelled, because they, of course, for me, of course, they will find a solution. And for sailing, it's outdoor sport, and I think it's okay for sailing. And we are not in Tokyo, actually. We are in sailing venue in Enoshima Island. It's around 1 hour far away from the Tokyo, so I think we are okay with this.
Like any other athlete, Ecem is aiming for the highest goal in the Tokyo Olympics. She's one of the most successful sailors from Turkey and is working hard to be one of the most successful in the world.
The Tokyo 2020 Olympics torch was lit by the rays of the sun in ancient Olympia on Thursday to mark the final step towards the July 24th to August 9th Games, currently in question because of the coronavirus pandemic. Actress Xanthi Georgiou, in the role of High Priestess, used a parabolic mirror in a scaled-down ceremony closed to spectators at the site of the ancient Greek Olympics to ignite the torch and mark the start of a torch relay. The torch will be handed over to Tokyo Games organizers in Athens on March 19th. Tokyo Games organizers, as well as the International Olympic Committee, have insisted the Games will go ahead as planned amid mounting speculation that they could be canceled or postponed as the virus spreads rapidly across the globe.
19 weeks before the opening ceremony, we are strengthened in this commitment by the many authorities and sports organizations around the world who are taking so many significant measures to contain the spread of the coronavirus.
The ceremony was the first since 1984 to be held without spectators on the grassy slopes of the stadium, and only a few dozen accredited officials were allowed to watch the lighting at the nearby Temple of Hera. The World Health Organization described the coronavirus outbreak as a pandemic for the first time on Wednesday night, prompting more countries to announce drastic measures.
Japan's Olympics minister was quick to hit back at US President Donald Trump Friday, saying the Olympics are on schedule and, quote, safe and secure.
We are not thinking of reducing spectators at all. I understand the IOC and Tokyo 2020 will make an effort to hold the Games as planned, in coordination with the Tokyo government.
The remarks were made hours after Trump suggested Tokyo should delay the Games for a year amid the coronavirus outbreak.
I just can't see having no people there. In other words, not allowing people. You know, I like that better than I like having empty stadiums all over the place. I think if you cancel it, make it a year later, that's a better alternative than doing it with no crowd.
Officials say Japanese leader Shinzo Abe later spoke with Trump on the phone for about 50 minutes Friday morning Japan time. Trump then tweeted a more upbeat message, calling the just-completed Olympic venue magnificent and saying Abe had done an incredible job and good things will happen for Japan and their great Prime Minister. Friday's comments fit with Japan's efforts to quash speculation that the Games may not go ahead. This year's Olympics have cost the country at least $12 billion in preparations and attracted more than $3 billion in domestic sponsorships.
At 57, Ni Zialian will be the oldest table tennis player Olympian ever to compete in the Games, and hopes Tokyo 2020 will go ahead despite the coronavirus outbreak. Originally from Shanghai, Ni's early career was transformed when she was scooped up by Luxembourg some 30 years ago, initially as a coach. She has since competed in the 2000, 2008, 2012, and 2016 Olympics, achieving her best result when, age 37, she reached the final 16 in Sydney. She hopes Tokyo 2020, set to open on July 24th, will go ahead.
Unfortunately, the situation is like this. Nobody knows what can go on, what can happen. I hope not. I hope everything goes smooth. The worst for me may be postponed. It's better. I think otherwise so many people disappoint, so many people lost. I think it's a shame. If can do Olympic, I think it's good for everybody. You know, now we are in difficult time. I hope everybody understands each other, give space, give possibility, make nice again. I hope so.
No other athlete has ever competed in a table tennis tournament at the Games at her age. Ni limits her training to around 3 hours a day, often playing with her husband and coach, and focuses on physiotherapy to speed up recovery and limit injuries.
You know, follow the age, getting harder and harder. But luckily, I have good physiotherapist and it helps me a lot. So I think I'm a very good patient now. I'm always here. When I'm in Luxembourg, no competition, I'm very often here because I really need it. And we cannot against the age, cannot against the nature. And so without this take care, I think it's very difficult to continue for me.
As long as I am healthy and everything is okay, I'd like to contribute myself, the former world champion said, refusing to rule out competing once again for Luxembourg at the 2024 Games. Ryoma Ochi was just 9 years old when the 2011 earthquake hit, shaking the gymnasium where he was playing baseball in with his friends.
Then the earthquake hit us. Since it was a graduation season, there were tables placed for the graduation ceremony, so I hid under one of them. While I was placed under the table, the gymnasium walls started to collapse and fell into pieces. I ran outside when the shake subsided for a few seconds.
The earthquake also severely damaged the nuclear power station in Fukushima, close by Itate village where Uchi was living. As radiation levels rose, Uchi's family was forced to leave their village of Itate. After facing various hardships and living in temporary housing for 6 years, Ochi, his 6 siblings, and parents moved to Fukushima City. The move was especially difficult for Uchi's father, Kazuo Ochi, who had worked in agriculture and was close to retiring at the time of the disaster. For Uchi, however, it proved a blessing. After leaving Itate, which had a population of just 6,500, he could now attend a bigger high school in Fukushima City, where he blossomed as a baseball star. In March, he moved to Nagoya for university, where he plays the pitcher position on the university team. He is aiming to become a professional. This summer, Olympic baseball and softball games will be held in Fukushima to showcase the region's recovery from the devastating earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear meltdowns that made its name synonymous with the disaster 9 years ago. Billing it as Japan's Reconstruction Olympics, organizers hope the Summer Games will repair the region's reputation on the world stage. Uchi, who met International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach when he came to visit the region, believes the Olympics will give a major boost to the area.
Even though we call our Olympics the Reconstruction Olympics, we have not completely recovered yet. So I hope the Olympics will be a trigger for a complete recovery.